guys, Miss L. I wanted to let you know today we're going to be analyzing a poem that's in our book called Nothing Gold Can Stay by Robert Frost. We have a method in which we like to do that where we annotate it, which means marking our text, or in this case, we're just going to kind of answer some questions over to the side. Now, if you have a printer, you can print out the poem and annotate it just like we are going to do in class. We will be using a method called TPCASTT. Now, this is an acronym, and I'm going to go through each letter and tell you what it means. We use this acronym in order to analyze the poem. Now, if you can, my recommendation is to print out the poem. That way you can mark it up with your own hands. The other option, if you don't have a printer and you can't print the poem out, is to continue with this play pause it so that we can do that together, or a semblance of it together. So before you even think about reading a poem, you really need to think about what the title of that poem is. See if you can figure out what you think it might be based on the title. All right, so over on the side here, we're going to stop and I'm going to ask you a question. And I want you to know that the name of this poem is Nothing Gold Can Stay. What do you think a poem like this might be about? All right, P is for paraphrase. What is the literal meaning of the poem? When you paraphrase a poem, you are writing it in your own words, exactly what's happening line to line. Look at the number of lines in the poem. Your paraphrase should have exactly the same number of lines. So in this case, off to the side where you paraphrase the poem, it should have 8 lines. All right, so here is where we are actually digging in and we're annotating and we're looking for point of view, figure of speech, imagery, all of that stuff that we've been talking about all year long. And so let me talk to you a little bit about that. C is for connotation. Connotation is we're actually going through and we're marking. Now, if you're at home and you had the privilege to print off your poem and your marking, what we're doing in class is we're actually going through and we're underlining different examples of alliteration, imagery, personification, allusion, and end rhyme. But since I'm just going to tell you what those mean here and ask you to give me an example of each. A is for attitude. It's the tone, the feeling the author has for the subject of the poem. You could use words like gloomy, sad, happy, ecstatic, lonely. No, those are not all words for Robert Frost's poem. But which one do you think can be used most effectively? S is for shift. There's a shift or a change in the mood of the poem about halfway through here. So tell me, off to the side, where is the switch in the mood? All right, we're back to T for title. I want you to re-examine the title. What do you think now? Is it the same as what you said in the beginning? Or have you developed a different opinion? And last but not least, T is for theme. Now, if you'll remember, a theme is a life lesson that you would get from literature. So ask yourself these few questions. What subject does the poem address? What did you learn about those subjects? And last but not least, remember that a theme of a work of literature is stated in a complete sentence. All right. I hope this helps out with our poem. I look forward to seeing what you guys answer on here. and let me know if you have any questions by shooting me an email.